Parshat Balak v'siyata d'ishmaya. Very full, intense, interesting parasha. I want to work Be'ezrat Hashem Yisborach on the beginning of the beginning of the parsha. וירא בלק בן ציפור את כל אשר עשה ישראל לאמורי. Balak ben Tzipor saw everything that Hashem did to the Emori. Who saw it? Balak ben Tzipor. ויגור מואב מפני העם מאוד כי רבו. Moab was afraid. ויקוץ מואב מפני בני ישראל. So the first pasuk says that Balak saw it. The second pasuk says that Bnei Israel were afraid from Moab because they were afraid from us, kiravu, because we are a lot. And then vayakutz Moab mipnei Bnei Israel. So was that Balak or that was Moab? First pasuk said that it is Balak. Balak saw it. What did he see? The milchamot of the kings. But then it says that the nation of Moab were afraid from Am Israel. So it doesn't seem that it's the same problem that Balak had. Balak had a problem of because of the war of Malchai Emori. The nation had a problem, Kiravu, and Vayakotz Moab, Rashi says, they katzu b'chayeim. They hated their life. What is the threat over here? What's going on over here? They were afraid that Bnei Israel will do something wrong to them, nachon? And then eventually there will be no nation of Moab. So Ophir asked a great question. We know that Hashem told us, Al tagar et Moab, you're not allowed to start up with Moab. It's a special din. So why are they afraid from? We're not allowed to do anything wrong to them.
They didn't know that.
They knew that. That's a nation thing. Yeah, we don't start Moab. Jews don't start with Moab. Today, we Jews where they are. So if they have an avtacha that Bnei Israel are not going to do anything to them, where is their fear coming from?
Wait, but what was your question? Your question.
My question is why it says first Balak, he saw the war of the Emori, and then he said that Moab were afraid because Bnei Israel are many people.
It's the same thing, like Yaakov.
What's
like
the
Hashem told him, "I'm gonna protect you," but he was afraid that he was gonna make a sin, and Hashem wouldn't protect him.
No, but it seems that it's not on them. It's not a protection for Moab. It's an obligation for us as a Karat Tov, as a family.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's such a long generation later.
But it's this generation. Hashem told
Okay,
on the Midbar. Hashem told Bnei Israel, "Al taker et Moab." You're not allowed to start up with Moab. So they were very clear, none.
Okay,
You're not allowed to start up with Moab. So why are they afraid of it?
They're afraid of Hashem. A super powerful nation. Okay, there's still some sort of fear. Yes, Hashem did say something, but at the end of the day, our minds work. You automatically.
But if you know you have a guaranteed from Hashem,
so then you could ask us.
You're right. The question is, what's the fear? The simple pshat: if you have a guaranteed from Hashem, Hashem promised, told Bnei Israel, don't start up with them. There shouldn't be any issue.
What was the nafkamina of your question? Your first question.
Why it says Vayar Balak ben He saw what everything Hashem did to the Emori.
Okay.
And then he said that the nation of Moab were afraid from Bnei Israel. So is that something that Balak saw? Or it's something of the nation? It seems like two separate things. It says also...
Rabbi, can I also just ask a question?
Yeah,
On the first pasuk,
of
because
course.
it says on the second pasuk, it says Vayaru Moab b'nei ki Hu, because they were plenty. But wasn't the reason why they were afraid of them is because they...
Malchai Emori? Exactly. Okay, that's a better way to ask the question. We seem that they were afraid because they killed Malchai Emori. And why it says the second pasuk that the problem is Kiravu, there are many of them. The problem is that with the threat they killed Malchai Emori. Now, by Yitro it says Vayishma Yitro Kohen Midyan. Ma shama Yitro? He heard the milchamot. Why here it doesn't say Vayishma? The word over here is Vayar. Very interesting. Weiter, Vayomer Moab el Zikne Midyan. Pasuk Daled, who is talking with who? Moab was talking to Zikne Midyan. It seems that the nation of Moab is talking to the elders of Midian. When you go weiter in the Psukim, it sounds like that was Zikne Moav and Zikne Midian. Why the approach is from Moav without mentioning anybody of the Zkenim? Vayomer Moav and Zikne Midian. Now, it's unbelievable why they went to Zikne Midian. Rashi says, because they thought, look, this nation, something is wrong. They win, they do a good job. So let's ask, Balak said, let's ask where they were growing. So who would know? Midian, nachon? So they went to Midian, they asked Moshe, where was this guy, what's the secret of the leader of Am Yisrael? And they said, En kocho ela bapeh. The koach of Moshe Rabbeinu is bapeh. Let's get Bilam also bapeh. What's the real secret of Am Yisrael? Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. That's the whole point. Why they are looking who is the leader of Am Yisrael? They should have looked for, what's the reason Am Yisrael is succeeding? Because of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. It's nothing to do with the leader. Why are they looking, what's the secret of the leader of Am Yisrael?
This is Moshe doing all these things.
Yeah, Moshe is just a leader. All of the miracles that Hashem did, Hashem nishbati לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב. Nothing about the manhig.
Promise. We're not for
They
sure
threw-
because
No, בטח, Hashem מבטיח לנו, בטח.
Yeah, but now a whole generation just died in the desert because they sent a couple of
Okay, that's
spies.
nothing, okay.
So now,
But still,
That
the
wiped out a
whole
whole
reason we got out of
generation.
Mitzrayim, it's only Zchut Avot. Without Zchut Avot, we wouldn't get out of Egypt.
But everything was through Moshe.
Moshe is the
They
leader,
thought they
but
would
he's
get
not.
a leader and through him.
understand
Mo-
that.
Yeah,
Moshe,
no, I'll tell you why.
Moshe,
It's
the
very
leader is a
simple.
facilitator.
This
Leader, Moshe is leading what Hashem is telling him to do.
Yeah, but in
It's
their
not that
eyes,
Moshe himself was the genius to get Am Yisrael
yeah,
to
but
that
in their
level.
He was
eyes
the
there
clean.
was.
Huh?
It was
In
the
their eyes
clean.
there was.
Hashem
Balak,
is why.
maybe they can't
Good.
What do
understand
you mean
that.
why? If I see a leader doing something, obviously I'm
But
gonna
they
think
know
that
we are
it's
Bnei
beyond
Avraham,
them.
Yitzchak, Yaakov. Elokei
They know
Haivrim.
that, but they
don't
see
believe-
something else.
Why they see something else? Why they don't see בכלל Zchut Avot?
Because they didn't see it, they weren't alive.
למה? Well, you're
Then
right.
you have a
You
team,
see,
right?
America was so
Season.
successful with Trump. They think they need a Trump.
Weiter.
As good as the team can be, you look at the leader who's leading them.
But the leading has nothing to do. I think simple pshat is Avraham, Yitzchak. That's all the reason we were saved. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov.
But you know what they say? Take out the head, you take out everybody. It's like when you want to get rid of all your ants in your house, you put the little thing. He
No,
goes to
Moshe
bring the
left,
queen
you have
in,
Yehoshua.
Thanos, you go for the head.
But all of the miracle has nothing to do with Moshe. Miracles cannot be created by a leader. Miracle created by God.
Yeah, but
There was
miracles are
miracles.
also created in spite of the leader.
But the leader is not the creator. It's all about the nation. So this is the nation of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. That's why they have the zchut to have all those miracles.
You can say we know that the Ananim, the man in the bear was because of Avraham, but we also know it's because of Moshe, Miriam, and Aaron. So why is it both? The zchut is because of Avraham, Avot, but you need tzaddikim to bring the zchut down from Shamayim. So we have the zchut from Abraham, but you need Moshe to be part of the zchut now.
No, but I'm
So
asking,
Moshe is the
but
reason it's
by the
here.
end of the day, we know the only reason we were saved, all of the miracles, it's not because of Moshe.
But without the
It is,
tzaddik, without
but,
Moshe, Miriam, and
but
Aaron,
no,
there's
you're
man,
right.
Ananim,
But
nothing.
in order to eliminate the miracles, you got to start with the source, not
If
with
I
the
eliminate Moshe, there's
facilitator.
no miracles now. I have
Why
the
not?
zchut in
Not
the bank,
I mean,
have no card.
that's a good word for the bear. But in general, if Bnei Israel have Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, they have bracha, so the bracha should continue. I mean, that's a promise Hashem nishba
Why
laavotenu.
not him? He was connected all of Am Yisrael.
What?
I'm saying, why not him? He was connected all of Am Yisrael. Like he was. It's,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, again, they're looking for miracles. What it says, למעלה מדרך הטבע. Something is above nature. A leader cannot create above nature.
But that's a מחלוקת בגמרא, אם כבנים, אם כעבדים. אם כבנים, they get
Okay,
the
but
credit
here
as
it's
בנים.
בנים, here is בנים.
Rabbi,
we're
is
not
it?
get by עבדים. בוא
Bilam-
נמשיך הלאה.
Bilam got his powers only for the future to come. That when the Goyim have a te'ana, that the Jews had such a strong person like Moshe Rabbeinu, Hashem will tell them, you guys had Bilam HaRasha, right? So it comes to show you that what? They looked, if the Goyim come with a te'ana of
But
Moshe
Bilam was
Rabbeinu,
not a leader.
that's what they thought.
Here is talking as a leader. It's two different things.
but they thought he was a
So
leader.
let's go weiter. Yes, I said, and then they went to Balak, they went to Bilam. Why Davka Bilam? Rashi bring, נכון? That's what you thought.
It was the solution for that thing.
נכון, but Rashi לא אומר את זה.
The solution for the what?
No, Rashi says, why Balak went to Bilam?
Because he needed a person stronger than Balak.
No, look Rashi, look Rashi.
Which pasuk?
פסוק ארץ בני עמו, משם היה,
What pasuk?
ארץ פסוק ה', סקן רש"י, ארץ בני עמו של בלק,
He promised them מלכות.
משם היה, וזה היה מתנבא ואומר עתיד אתה למלוך. בלעם was the one who told him you're going to be the king, therefore Balak decided to go to Bilam. Isn't because the שכוחו בפה? Here it said because he told them עתיד אתה למלוך, that's why Balak went to Bilam. That's not the reason. The reason is this is the נביא שכוחו בפה. Let's talk about Bilam, the whole idea. Hashem, that's a question bothers me as a kid. Mamasha, I never spoke it out until today. It's famous that Hashem told the Goyim, why Hashem gave a Navi to the Goyim? I'm saying it on the wrong way, okay? Why Hashem gave a Navi to the Goyim? The Goyim shouldn't say, Hashem, you never gave us an opportunity. נכון? Therefore, you have a Navi, and look what the Navi did. The way Rashi is saying it is different than the way I'm saying it. ואם תאמר, מסיים רש"י, מפני מה השרה הקדוש ברוך הוא שכינתו על גוי רשע. Listen to the words. Why Hashem put his שכינה on גוי רשע? שלא יהיה פתחון פה, they shouldn't have what to say. But there is a simple thing the goyim can say. Hashem, why did you put it on גוי רשע?
The simple one.
Goyim can say, can respond back to Hashem. Hashem, you put it on Goy Rasha. There are Goyim tzadikim. Aner Eshkol Mamre, Elone Mamre. Mamre was a Goy tzadik, נכון? There were many Goyim tzadikim. If Hashem putting the nevuah on a Goy Rasha, then we have a ta'ana to Hashem. Why did you put it on a Goy Rasha? You should have put it in a better Goy.
Goy tzaddik.
To a Goy tzadik. A Goy tzadik ta'arog.
The question is, why do we care what they think?
No, Hashem cares. Hashem doesn't want the goyim. Hashem cares about the goyim. That's his creation. Tzelem Elokim asa et ha'adam.
Yeah, but they know that the Jews are the chosen one.
No,
Who
but they
cares
will
what
have a
they
tana.
think?
The Gemara in Avodah Zarah said, "Shelo yeh pitchon peh." We don't want them to have a tana. Therefore, we create a way they have an answer. אבל הוא השם שהגוי רשע, שים על גוי צדיק. That's what it means. שאם היה צדיק, הכל היה נפתר.
It didn't have to be Russia. You could have chose to be good.
No, but what? But the לשון of Rashi is שרה שכינתו על גוי רשע. Meaning the starting point when Yisrael Shechinato was on a goy rasha. So why? So that then you have a good tainet. Give us a good goy, oxymoron. No, but give us a good goy, and then we're gonna be fine. Weiter, the Kne Midian are making a sign. They said, if Hashem gonna let them go, Metzuyan, right away. Im lo, it's not gonna work. For a very simple reason. What was the sign of the Kne Midian? They said, if Hashem gonna say no, he loves his kids, he's not gonna do it. If Hashem, so there is no point of trying to beg Hashem, beg Bilam again and again. So the logic of Ziknei Midian makes sense. You're asking somebody to curse Bnei Israel. If Hashem says no, meaning Hashem still, he loves Bnei Israel. Rashi, the Gemara in Sanhedrin said, כלום יש אב ששונא את בנו. נכון? So if כלום יש ששונא את בנו, therefore for sure they're not going to...
What does that mean?
Their father
the
doesn't like the
father is going to hate his son. So therefore, it's not going to happen. So I have two questions. Question number one, if they come from a premise, כלום יש אב ששונא את בנו, why do they go בכלל to בלעם? Because in order for Balaam to curse, you have שונא את בנו. But if this premise is correct, why is Ziknei Moab continuing begging Bilam? Hashem says, no, I'm not going to curse my child. So why they are continuing begging Bilam?
No, this is to show that he doesn't hate.
Ziknei
Bilam.
Midian left after that
That he
night.
doesn't hate Bilam.
No. They want him to curse Bnei Israel.
Masha?
I know, but you
They
said.
want him to curse Bnei Israel. Ziknei Midian said, if they're going to say no, it's not going to happen.
But they chose specifically Bilam to
Yeah,
show
but-
that he
but-
doesn't
but-
hate him.
No, but it's most of them.
No? Isn't that what you're saying, that he's like his son? Isn't that what you just said?
No, Bnei Israel. אף ששונא את בנו, את בני ישראל.
Okay.
Not Bilam. So if so, when the Kne Midian sees that Bilam says no, what they should say? Should go back home because you're asking them to curse by the name of Hashem. Why they continue begging him? Something wrong with them? And that question extends to Bilam. Bilam, Hashem telling you, don't go, נכון? And when Hashem says, לא תלך עמהם, לא תאור את העם כי ברוך הוא. So say, לא תלך עמהם. So I want to curse him, no, ממקומי, from where I am, I should curse him. He says, no, לא תאור את העם. maybe I should give them bracha. No. Don't give them bracha ki baruch hu. So the obvious question, why would Balaam offer to Hashem to give them bracha? You want to curse them, nachon? Why would you offer bracha to give bracha?
Maybe his blessing will be a decrease in blessing compared to Moshe's.
Two brachas.
Right, I mean, but you offer Hashem, I want to curse, no, I want to say bracha. That's funny, Doesn't make sense. But the shayla is, then Hashem told them, only what I'm going to tell you, you're going to speak about them. Ma Bilam amar. I'll go, maybe I'll work it out. Bilam, Hashem told you no, it's not going to happen. Why do you have in your mind to think for a second that Hashem will curse Bnei Israel? Kilum yesh av, shesoneh et banav. What is Bilam thinking?
He warned them 3 times more.
Huh?
He warned them around like
Yeah, 3 times. Well, what's going on with Bilam?
What's the answer?
Huh?
Tshuva עכשיו.
Not at all. So I want to go into a little bit the story with the Aton. Sound like he goes with the Aton and the Aton squeeze him. Sound like one of the kids' stories. The Aton squeeze him against the wall, and he didn't see the sword of the Malach. When he saw the sword of the Malach, then he says, I'm sorry. The Aton is talking to him. Suddenly, ויפתח Hashem et pi Aton. Aton is talking to him, and after she's talking to him, he says, okay. I didn't know. And then the Malach comes, he says, לא היה חרב בידי והרגתיך. Why? Because I'm the one who caused the Aton to go to the side. So the question is, what do you want from Bilam? Did he know that there is a Malach? No. Is he right to be upset on his Aton?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the ta'ana of the Malach, of the Aton, on Bilam? Why did you hit your Aton? Because you didn't behave properly.
You just said that Hashem put a Shekhinah on him. If he had a Shekhinah on him, he knew.
No, not necessarily. Shekhinah doesn't mean he knows everything. He has
Only
an
for the
option
Nebuah.
to see a vision, but he doesn't know everything. I mean, if he would have known, he would have seen him. Shkoyach. He didn't see. If he didn't see, why would he kill him? He shouldn't kill him. So I have some more points, but let's try to go, and then there will be rayot from the small points in the psukim. It says in the Mishnah in Avot that Aton was created on Ben Hashmashot. עכשיו בין השמשות. What's the pshat? The Aton to be created בין השמשות. Yeah. Aton can be created. Huh?
It's not a real bria.
Okay. Huh?
It's not a real bria. It's not like
Right. But what's the pshat? What's behind the needs of בין השמשות? So I think you need to understand there is a point. The way Bilam began to curse Am Israel, he built 7 mizbechot, and each one par and ail. He said, you fathers, all together these 7 korbanot, I'm doing it on one time. Avraham Avinu did ail, I'm doing par ve'ail. What is the dialogue of, why the starting point of Bilam to win the game is by doing 7 mizbechot against all of the korbanot of the Avot? The Mishnah in Avot says, כל מי שיש בו 3 מהדברים הללו, מתלמידיו של אברהם אבינו. Anyone who has the following 3 things is the תלמיד of אברהם אבינו. But 3 דברים אחרים, other stuff, מתלמידיו של בלעם הרשע.
Which
So, עין טובה,
which Mishnah is this?
Avot? I don't know which Mishnah. I copy it from Wikitext. אז עין טובה, it's 1, רוח נמוכה ונפש שפלה. So עין טובה, a good eye, לא רוח ונפש שפלה. בלעם הרשע is עין רעה, רוח גבוהה ונפש רחבה, a wide נפש. So the Rambam בפירוש המשניות explains the following. He said, אברהם אבינו, what's עין טובה means? הסתפקות במועט. If you're okay with what you have, then you have עין טובה about others. Because עין טובה means, why am I happy? Why, if I'm not happy when somebody has something, is because of, I think it's taken away from me. That's עין רעה, meaning, it's taken away from me, that should be mine. But if you're okay with what you have עין טובה. Then the other fellow is fine, he should have, יאללה, תפאדל. That's עין טובה. נפש שפלה, he said, זה הזהירות. הזהירות לכאורה, it's being careful. We'll see what's being careful. And the last thing, רוח נמוכה, it's ענווה יתרה. An extra level of ענווה. Now, the opposite is by
Balak.
בלעם.
Bilam.
So the way you explain בלעם, listen. עין רע הוא החריצות לקנות הממון. The חריצות, the needs to fight, to go for money, that's עין רע. רוב התאווה זה נפש רחבה. נפש שפלה זה לא שווה, תאווה it's נפש רחבה, meaning a wide soul, right? נפש רחבה, לא רחבה, that's get people to do תאווה, and הגאווה זה רוח גבוהה, is the arrogance, that's a high רוח. מה זה פשט over here? The way Hashem created the world, that Hashem gave us a father and a mother. A father and a mother together building the person to create his midot and his satisfaction in the world. Parents have responsibilities to build their child with the proper midot and satisfaction. For example, if the child wants a lot of candies, what is the responsibility of a father?
Minimize.
No, too many candies is not good for you. If a child wants to do whatever he wants to jump on the table, a father needs to educate his child to the rules. You cannot jump on top of the table. The need of a child to be instructed for the rules in the house, it is not only for him to act like a human being. Make sure you act properly, you go to people's houses, you behave accordingly. No. It's crucial for his neshama. For a neshama of a person, what's giving a person feeling, secure feeling about himself is knowing that I am under a father who has limitation and has walls. Meaning, if I am controlled by my father, so there is a higher level authority above me. So I'm afraid for my father. I'm counting my actions according to my father, and that's what's giving me security, because I know there is someone above who over me and watching over me. A child who lives in a house without discipline, it's a child that he has his self-esteem, ביטחון עצמי, איך אומרים?
Self-confidence.
Self-confidence is very low, because what giving us self-confidence, every child feels, יש לי אבא חזק, נכון? I have a strong father up there. That's what every child, but אבא שלי הכי חזק, my father is the strongest father. That makes the child have self-confidence. He feels good about himself. When he thinks that his father cannot even control him, cannot act as a father, automatically the child himself, it's a child without any
Lack of self-confidence.
big lack of self-confidence. What is the lack of self-confidence means? Self-confidence means that I know the boundaries outside of me, which is my father, and I know the boundaries of myself. I know who I am because I'm being trained to have boundaries, and I can have the boundaries of myself. The midot of Avraham Avinu comes from, which is our midot, nefesh shfela, ayin tova. What's ayin tova means? I have the boundaries around myself, what I need to have. What other people have, it's not a problem because it's not part of my boundaries. That's called ayin tova. Zehirut meaning, the opposite of zehirut is ta'ava. Desire to have a lot of stuff comes from lack of self-confidence. What defined me, it's what I receive, that's ta'ava. Zehirut, what I have, it's who I am, that's the opposite of ta'ava. That's called nefesh shfela. I am down to earth in my nefesh, and what I have around me, I am, meaning zeirut in a way is awareness. I have awareness to what I have, and therefore I'm comfortable with what I have. Ta'ava, it's lack of awareness of what you have, and you want other stuff what you don't have. Therefore today everybody, shopping, everything is, I want stuff that I don't have. Stuff that I have, I don't want. People are not satisfied with who they are. Last thing is ruach gvoha. What's ruach gvoha means? Gava. Gava means you have zero connection to yourself. Anava is the highest level of a person who connects to himself. So Moshe Rabbeinu was the highest example of Anava. Lama? Because he was fully connected to himself. So he knew everything he had, but he never felt any entitlement to it because he's connected to what he had and he knows that's my tools that Hashem gave me. When you feel something disconnected from you, this is where Ga'ava begins. Ga'ava means recognition of others on my qualities. Anava means the recognition of myself on my qualities. So for Ga'ava, you need other people to admire who you are because you're not connected. So you need an outside force to give you the awareness of who you are. But Anava means I am fully connected to myself. I don't need any outside justification and any outside compliment to appreciate who I am. Therefore, kids, for example, they need a lot of compliments because kids are in the process of
Finding themselves.
finding themselves. A responsibility of a father, and that's the other person. The father responsibility is to put the boundaries. The second responsibility is the mother. Mother is to compliment the child, to recognize what he has, so he has enough inside. That's the definition of Avraham Avinu, and that's the definition of Bilam. Avraham Avinu is a person that mesupak, it's within, full of himself, and Bilam HaRasha, it's the opposite. Regular people in the world should be fine. Person with regular as a father and mother should be fine and they appropriately connect to themselves. Bilam HaRasha is not connected to himself at all. The ta'avot of Bilam is nefesh rechava, meaning he has zero awareness to who he is, and he needs everything external to recognize himself. So he needs melo beto kesef vezahav. He needs the external things. So the purpose of money, it's what? What do you have to do with full of money? That?
Satisfy his needs.
That's satisfy need and recognition. When other people gives me kesef and zahav, I feel that I worth something.
So he did the.
So Bilam, his behavior in the world, he has zero awareness to himself. Someone who has no awareness to himself, he has zero awareness to others. He has no other relationship with others. If you don't connect aware to yourself, you cannot relate to others. When Bilam goes to course Bnei Israel, he has no problem to think that Hashem will go back on Bnei Israel and records them. Why? Because for Bilam never received
From the Abba.
Boundaries.
yeah. Why? And let's leave it on the side in a second. He's going on the road. Who is the person who symbolized the highest level of gashmiut?
Donkey.
A donkey, נכון? Donkey is about gashmiut. Aton is a gashmiut.
The word hamor.
Chamor, yeah, chamor. What, if you want to tell somebody, mata, chamor, נכון? Chamor is a definition like chamor, somebody just into himself.
From the word chomriut.
The aton of Bilam, חומריות, יפה מאוד. Aton of Bilam, she acted exactly the opposite of who was Bilam. What was she saying to Bilam? הלא אנוכי אתונך, שרכבת עליי מעודי ועדנה. I was fully servicing you. She's saying to Bilam, nothing was about me, everything was about you. The message that Aton gave Bilam is, תצמצם, איך אומרים? Narrow, shrink, minimize who you are. She did a minimization process.
She checked him.
Minimization.
Huh? Minimization process. She took him משאול הכרמים. So the issue of Bilam is נפש רחבה, נכון? He needs all over the world. She narrowed Bilam into a narrow spot, meaning she narrowed him into משאול הכרמים, ותלחץ אל הקיר. She shrink Bilam into the lowest point. What was the reaction of Bilam?
He got mad.
He started beating her up.
Violence.
He couldn't handle a situation that he's got to be
Under pressure.
under pressure. He shrink because his nefesh is nefesh
Chava.
rechava.
She also
Nefesh
embarrassed him in
rechava.
front of the Sarim.
Which means, לטובת השרים, what's the Aton did to Bilam, Aton did opposite of her nature. Instead of caring about herself, she was caring about Bilam. That was the Malach had a ta'ana to Bilam. If the Aton went against her nature to give you a message, and you ignoring the message, I should have killed you. למה לא היה חרב בידי אתה ורגתך? You have no right to exist. If someone that his nature is the opposite, turning into you, just caring about you, you that by nature a person needs to be aware to himself and not nefesh rechava, you disregard her message, therefore you have no right to be exist in this world. And Rashi says, what was the punishment of Bilam? Argu becharev. Because at this moment, Bilam itchayev already mita, he has no right to exist. Bilam means a person who just nefesh rechava and he doesn't see others, he just sees himself. I want to go back to Moab. Nation of Moab, where the word nation of Moab from?
Lot,
Lot. Who Lot was married?
his daughters.
His daughter. The daughter called the name of her child Moab.
Moab.
We have in Ammon, we have in Moab.
Malvi,
Moab.
Ma'ami.
Right. She was accused for doing something wrong. Lama, you shouldn't be embarrassed to call your child the person that you came from you came from your father, and you name him that he came after your father. That was therefore the Moab. We have a Moab. She was accused that she called her child name Moab. זה לא יפה. You slept with your father. You shouldn't name the child Moab. נכון, Me'av. You should have named the child.
Stephen.
Me'av. Moab. Me'av. Right. Unrelated to the sin. If you give it the name related to the sin, what's the issue of naming a child Moab Me'av? The daughter of Lot, why by nature, the nature is that a daughter not allowed to sleep with her father, obviously. Because the father is the opposite figure of a husband, although people might confuse. You're not mechanech your wife, she's mechanech you probably. We know there is no way to mechanech a wife. A figure of a father is a person who gives the children the limitation in life, the boundaries and their definition. That's not a figure of a husband. A husband is a person who receiving the support from his wife to be who she is. He's not there to give his wife her identity, her boundaries, her chinuch. It's the opposite of a father. A father gives, a husband receives. She's saying, you are me'av, meaning I identify myself getting married to my father as a husband, not as a father. Meaning, my father never gave me the identity that a girl needs to have, the boundaries. Therefore, she was able to sleep with her father. By nature, we know that we have no yichud with bat and a father, right? And also bat, magina ala abba biyichud. I just got a question this week in Kabbalah. If the guy said, my daughter going to be at home with her friend, till late at night, my wife is not home. Do I have a problem of yichud? לא, בת מצילה על האבא.
Until what age?
מה אתה אומר? Any age. בת מצילה על האבא. זה לא ילדים קטנים, ילדים קטנים, even not children. הבת מצילה על האבא, למה? Because the bat is the opposite desire of the father. If a bat has a desire for her father, meaning the father never gave her anything. The nation of Moab is built from a mother and a father that never gave them any boundaries, never gave any recognition to themselves, and there is no feeling, self-awareness to who they are. Where Bilam came from? Where did Bilam came from?
From Moab.
Moab. Bilam came from such a nation. Now look what happened. Moab had no leader on that time. Rashi says that they took Balak, even though he's not Ra'ui, as a manhig. Balak was taking, who told Balak you can be a leader?
Bilam.
Bilam. Why Bilam? Who is Bilam over here? Balak, Balak has no self. What's the word? Self-confidence. Self-identity, self-confidence about himself בכלל.
He was also
יפה. בלק בן ציפור. מה זה ציפור? הגמרא אומרת,
He was also from that nation.
ציפורי מצורע, הגמרא אומרת שציפורי מצורע, מואב, הגמרא אומרת שציפורי מצורע, why מצורע needs to bring ציפורים for קורבן? מה ציפור עושה? talking לשון הרע. What's talking לשון הרע? A person who talks לשון הרע, he just care about others, not about himself. Meaning, it doesn't, meaning care about himself, that's why he put others down. So Balak comes from such a father, Balak ben Tzipor. From his father, he never received anything. So he doesn't have any self-confidence. Who gave him self-confidence in life?
Bilam.
Bilam. The problem of Bilam, that Bilam is a person with no self-confidence. So a person with no self-confidence giving confidence to Balak. You think Balak received confidence in the job? Impossible. How do we see it? The first question is, how come Moab are afraid from Bnei Israel when they have no reason to be afraid? Very simple. They know for sure that Am Israel will not kill them. Because Hashem told Bnei Israel, Al tagar Moab, you're not allowed to... You're not allowed to start up with Moab. If we're not allowed to start up with Moab, there is no life-threatening concern of Bnei Israel. What's the concern of Bnei Israel? What's the concern? What's the fear of Bnei Israel? It's not a life-threatening. Bnei Israel are the opposite of Moab. They are intimidating Am Israel. They're intimidating Moab. לכן כתוב, ויגר מואב מפני העם מאוד כי רבו. There is so many of them, opposite to us. Rashi says, ויקוץ מואב. מה זה ויקוץ מואב? קצו בחייהם of their own. They don't want to leave. They feel nothing. What's the message they says? עתה ילחכו הקהל את כל סביבותינו. Why Rashi changed from the word of העם to הקהל? What's a kahal? We have a
Everybody. It's everybody.
10 people.
more.
Kids, children, women.
Anashim, nashim, vataf. What give identity to people? Their family. When they see the kahal around, מה הם אומרים? ילחכו הקהל את כל סביבותינו. They're gonna make us weak. מה זה סביבותינו? We are surrounded by them. We are surrounded by this nation. We intimidate. We are nothing. What was the request to Bilam? אתה אולי יוכל נקה בם. What's נקה בם means?
נקמה.
רש"י says כמה זה נקה? כמה זה נקה? קצת. Why קצת? If you take Bilam to kill them, what do you need to do? Kill them all. Why do you ask only for little? The point is not to kill. The point is to put Bnei Israel down. If some of Bnei Israel going to be killed, what's the feeling of the rest of the nation? They feel afraid. If you kill the little bit of the nation, what will be their feeling? They're going to feel afraid. What's Moab wants from Bnei Israel? They don't want them to die. What's their issue with Bnei Israel? Their existence makes us feel we are nothing. So when Moab going to feel better? If there will be no Bnei Israel, or if Bnei Israel will feel down?
When they assimilate like that.
When Bnei Israel feel down. So they want only אולי נוכל נקה בו. We want to hit Bnei Israel a little bit. So Bnei Israel going to be down about themselves. If they down, it's like Lashon Hara. I'm putting the other person down. If they're going to feel down, I'm going to feel down. So all this threat was not a real threat to begin with. The threat was the nation were afraid. So therefore, who came to consult with Moab? No, with Midian. Moab with the Zkenim. What Zkenim means? Zkenim means the wise people around the community. This doesn't come from wisdom. This decision comes from lack of wisdom. With a threat, they're uncomfortable with themselves. Therefore, the nation themselves are the one who going to Zikne Midian. What's the leader's story over here? באמת, our koach is בזכות Avraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב. Balak, he says, Vayar Balak. Balak saw something, he saw something, and the nation saw something else. The nation were afraid because of who they are from Bnei Israel. Balak thought that he is at fault. Since Balak was the Talmid of Bilam, is a person who has no self-confidence. When he sees something going wrong in the nation, he thinks that he's the one who caused it, but הוא לא באמת. It's the issue of the nation. It's an inherited problem of the nation. But Balak is the one who takes the blame to himself because he doesn't have the confidence. Balak, on his perspective, he thinks that the reason the nation is like that is because of me. And you see it often when ladies are, emotional, נכון? When they are become emotional, they will take blame on themselves. The more emotional the person is, he will take unnecessary blame on himself because he's not secure with himself, so he will take the incorrect blames. Therefore the Torah says, ויער, he saw something. זה לא מה שהוא שמע, זה מה שהוא ראה, what he saw in his perspective. He saw a big threat that his nation will eventually blame him. That was his own personal threat. So he thought that the remedy will be with the leader of Am Israel. Where is the Avraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב? They have an הבטחה, נכון? On their perspective, they don't know what's the feeling of a father and fathers. Bnei Israel, the הבטחה is because of האבות. They don't know what avot means. We never have avot. So for them, the only reason of success of Bnei Israel is because of Moshe. Therefore, they came to ask who is the Navi, who is the leader of Am Israel. They cannot recognize Avraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב. Balak understood that the only way for him to win Bnei Israel is by recognizing Avraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב and to get them out of Bnei Israel. מה הוא עושה בלק? ויבן 7 מזבחות. He knows, בלעם, נכון. בלעם built 7 מזבחות. למה? He said, this is what they did. I'm replacing the koach of Bnei Israel. Because he recognized that the only way for him to win Am Israel is by taking out the connection of Avraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב. Now we understand why Sarei Midian left the same night. Sarei Midian are healthy nation. They're not Moab. Sarei Midian said, very clear, if it's not going to work, Abba lo mekalel et hayeladim. They understood the relationship between father and children. Moab don't understand the relationship. They keep insisting because they think there is a way to get it. So as Bilam keep insisting Hashem. Because Bilam understand, okay, there is a relationship between Abraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב, let's change it. Person who never had relationship, that's the effect. By the way, we see it often in life. The reason that the Torah is telling us, Anuchi Hashem Elokecha, it's equivalent to, right, on בית אמך. The reason we need to honor father and mother, to have the minchat, the Sefer HaChinuch brings, the reason that we have mitzvah of akarat hatov, because when you have akarat hatov on your parents, you can have akarat hatov on Hashem. The same thing. If you get self-confidence from your parents, if you trust your parents, if you're raising your kids with a feeling of a trust, they are self-secure, they have self-confidence, they will have self-confidence on Hashem. If we want to raise our kids and our surrounding with the qualities of for Hashem, it's all the same channel. If you're building from the one above you, you give you some confidence, you trust them, and you trust Hashem. If you don't trust the people around you, you're not going to trust Hashem. The only way to really construct our life properly is to connect, to take the awareness of ourselves, like Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu begin with understanding our boundaries. Understand what you have around you. If you understand the boundaries, you're not going to have a problem with anything else up and outside. You have people that in learning, even in learning, This guy finished the Masechet, I didn't finish the Masechet. But understand your boundaries. You are different time in yeshiva, you are different skills, you have different abilities. Contain who you are. get the awareness of who you are, then all of the issues that we are facing on a day-to-day, we're not going to have. The Mesilat Yesharim says...
Malchut.
Huh?
You have a Teana to say that, give me a tzaddik of... The Rav said, you asked in Rashi, that they had, the Goyim have a Teana, right?
Goy Rasha, מצוין. The Goyim have טענה, why did Hashem השרה את שכינתו על גוי רשע? The highest level of love and boundaries should come from who? From Hashem. Because the relationship of our parents is the path to the relationship of Hashem. Hashem had one of the highest level of relationship in the world was Bil'am. Lama Bil'am? Because Bil'am, Bil'am is the highest level.
After you speak.
גבריאל הצדיק. לא, בוא, תעמוד לידי. Stand next to me, yeah, you're gonna give the share with me. Bil'am is the highest level. Hashem wants to give Bil'am the feeling that I'm building you up. Hashem השרה שכינתו על רשע, because if Hashem, the highest level of nevuah, if Hashem is putting himself into a rasha, the rasha should get up from his place and be back connected to Hashem. What Bil'am was lacking? Bil'am was lacking the self-awareness. Hashem says, I gave the highest self-awareness should impact the lowest person, and yet it didn't impact. So our job and responsibility again is to build boundaries of ourselves, to understand who we are, to go into it. The more we understand who we are, the more we can appreciate our surrounding. The more we'll appreciate our surrounding, we have no problem that what we have, what we don't have. Amen.